Good morning. Oh, it's time for that procedure that I do every year. And it's a little bit of work. And it's dehydrating the persimmons. I do figs too when I have an abundance. These are Nikita's Gift persimmons, and they're just absolutely they're so delicious. Sweet, they have a delicate flavor, a rich flavor. They're almost unparalleled. I like Seijo too, which I've talked about. I like a few other American varieties like Yates and Meter. They're good, but this is one of my favorite. And today it's mostly Nikita's Gift. I have some Seijo here too. You can see the difference in them. There's quite a bit of difference. They taste different. This, of course, Seijo is a completely 100% Japanese persimmons, rated to 10 below zero. Period. So it's very winter hardy. It's the most winter hardy of all the Japanese persimmons. And I've talked about Nikita's Gift, and here they are. They've ripened. They're completely ripe now, beautifully ripened, which I just demonstrated when I was cutting them. And ready for dehydration. This year, my Seijo trees, they produce quite a bit, but not as nearly as much, maybe only a third as much as they did last year. And that's because they're biannual in their production. And sometimes the trees are in synchronization. I have several Seijos, and they will all fruit an abundance of persimmons. And other years they get off cycle from one another, and one will produce a lot and the other won't. And this year they both didn't produce a lot. And the next year they're produced tremendously again. And you can look at some of my older videos and you'll see just how productive Seijo is. And Nikita's Gift is less susceptible to that biannual production quality. They mostly are consistent every year, because this is a hybrid, and it's a blend or a cross between American persimmons and Japanese persimmons, and therefore much hardier than the Seijo, which goes down to 10 below. And I'll keep saying this redundantly so people understand, because you know what zone you're in just by the temperature. But these are good to 25 below zero, because American persimmons are extremely hardy. And since this is a cross, your Nikita's Gift are very, very, very hardy. And there's some things going on in here in the kitchen. There's so much going on. There always is in this kitchen. We just had one of my favorite breakfasts ever. Is buckwheat hotcakes with blueberries. And Debbie will yell at me in a minute for handling that with my. She's already giving me a frown, especially these days, with the coronavirus. But we've been self-isolating, so we're fine. I just wanted to show these because these are one of my favorite. I should really put a recipe for these on, because there's just nothing. There's nothing like when I was very young. I went to Maine one time, and I stayed on a Maine farm with a friend that used to work in New Jersey and got sick and tired of the pollution and got sick and tired of the rat race, and he went to live in Maine. And he actually moved to a small mountaintop in an old farmhouse, and he was one of the most wonderful guys. And we went up to visit him, a bunch of guys that we all used to work at a certain station on the turnpike. It was called Sitco at the time, and we were working our way through college. We're talking ancient history here. And we all decided to go up and see this guy because we loved him so. And he was married and had two beautiful daughters, young daughters, and they had these little barrels full of different kinds of products to have breakfast. And one of them was buckwheat, and I asked them about it. So we started having these buckwheat pancakes, flapjacks, on this big wood stove with a flat top. and I just fell in love with buckwheat pancakes. And I don't know why I'm talking about that so much, but I'm just going around the kitchen here while I'm going to show you essentially how I'm dehydrating these persimmons. And since I'm at it, and since I'm talking about all these things, I might as well show you my wife. She's going to yell at me. My wife's pot roast today, which she started. And that's going to be fantastic for dinner. We do all right. We're eating all natural foods as much as we possibly can. It's not easy to get them, but we're getting them. And let's get back to the persimmons. Somebody asked me, let me turn this off. Jeez, that's I should have turned that off a long time ago. My goodness. Someone asked me about what type of dehydrator I recommend. And this is an Excalibur, and I don't recommend really any, but I recommend this one. I mean, I've had good luck with it. I'm not that familiar with other models, I have to admit. But this one has been extremely good to me. It's a 9-shelf dehydrator. Again, Excalibur is the name. And it is very reliable. I've had it for many, many, many years. And I have dehydrated tons and tons of figs and persimmons and things. Oh, wow. Or anything else I can get my hands on when I can get an abundance of other things, you know. And this will do apples, it will do pears, it will do anything. Even bananas, you know, it will dehydrate everything. And, you know, the shells are very nice. And there's this real slippery material. I guess it's a Teflon in nature, I don't know, but it's supposed to be pure and food safe, and nothing sticks to it. It's really, really very nice. These are just about finished now. Let me eat one. Wow. They're so delicious. Just sweet and delicious. And what Debbie and I will do with these is we will put them in Ziploc bags and place them in the freezer, and we will have them, bags of these, you know, throughout the winter, so that we can have a fresh, I say fresh, nutritious, okay, because I don't think the nutritional value is degraded or decreased at all, personally, when you dehydrate them on such a temperature, a low temperature. The temperature is not that high. This one's set at 135 degrees, and I do about 16 hours on this. Got some notes here that I usually keep. But 135 degrees at 16 hours, you can go 18 hours with these, and you get a nice, wonderful dehydrated persimmons that has not lost much of its nutritional value because it was not subject to extreme heat. And you put these in the freezer and it preserves all those nutrients and all that fiber, you know, and these are organically grown, 100% organically grown persimmons. And so you have something healthy to eat throughout the winter. And you're making it stretch that way. So that's the whole key of doing this. And that's why, yeah, it's work, but I actually enjoy it because I take my time. You know, once you get all the trays filled, remember, it's going to take 16, 18 hours before you have to cut them up again and supply the trays with a new, there we go, a new batch of persimmons and freshly cut. And you've got 18 hours to just do something else. It's not that rigorous. And I really actually enjoy it. Drinking my hot chocolate, drinking my coffee, and let's see, what else do I have here? I have my herbal tea, which I drink throughout the day. So I keep busy, and it breaks up the winter monotony. And meanwhile, Debbie's usually cooking something, trying to put something together for a healthy meal for dinner or breakfast. Okay, with that, oh, I've got coffee here. How wonderful. Life is good. Life is definitely good. I love everything. I try to enjoy the moment. I try to make the best, even out of winter. It's very, very cold outside. Extremely cold, windy, and nasty. But we manage. So with that, thank you for your visit. I hope I provided you with some information I do recommend dehydrating when you have an abundance of fruit or whatever it is that you will have. You know, it is a wonderful way to preserve all the work that you do in the summertime and throughout, you know, the summer season, the growing season, to preserve some of that for later on, for consumption later on in the year when there is a scarcity of these things and you just can't get them. Oh, would I like to have fresh ones like this? You know, would I? Of course. Look at how wonderful. You know, I would love to have fresh, juicy, delicious persimmons all year round, but you can't. But you can dehydrate them, and that's what this is all about. I'm gonna taste this one. Of course, while I'm doing this, these are so good. Everybody put one of these in your backyard. Everybody put one of these in your backyard. You can see, look, do it. Take my advice. That's why I keep talking about this. You will love doing it. You will be so happy. It'll be the best thing, one of the best things you've ever done in your backyard. Put a Nikita's Gift in your backyard, or a Seijo, or both, preferably if you have room enough. Put both of those in your backyard so that you can enjoy this sort of thing throughout the year. Okay, with that, let's see what's on TV. I don't know. Debbie always has something interesting on TV, something from YouTube. All right. Have a great day. It is about December I don't know what it is. I don't even know. Maybe 10th, 12th, who knows? But it's December, I promise you. Good day.